Present with us are Chris McCoy, who is filling in for Brian Nareau as the chair tonight. We have Margaret Horton, we have McKay Jemison, Brian Nareau is with us. He's a little under the weather. Bridget McBride and Jamie Benton are present. Okay, we're going to act on approval of the minutes from the meeting on May 19th, last month, 2021. Are there any objections to the minutes? Okay, hearing no objections, the minutes are approved as written for May 19th, 2021. Kelly, is there any public input, any emails that were previously sent?
No, there were none.
Okay, moving on to new business. We are going to hear and act upon Mr. Robert Vossler. He's from the Fairfield Rotary Club. He is requesting for a fee waiver for the already approved paddle and kayak fundraiser event, which is September 11th, 2021. Mr. Vossler, are you here?
Bob, can you hear?
I can barely hear the man that's speaking.
Okay, I have the volume up.
Actually, I really can't understand what he's saying. I just know there's somebody speaking.
Okay, he was just clarifying that you were here. If you could state why you are here, we can follow through, and if I have to interpret, I will.
Okay. Well, first of all, I wanted to thank the commission for giving me the time to come back again and to ask a favor. And that is, first of all, I'd like to explain that I am with the Fairfield Rotary Club, and I'm also the co-chairman of our paddle event, which is going to take place on 9/11. And my responsibility basically is the administration for the event, which includes preparing a income and expense statement for our board of directors. That is an estimated one, to give them some idea of what the cost will be and what income we may be able to receive from the event. So in going over the figures, I have listed here $400, a $400 fee for the use of Jennings Beach on 9/11 during the morning, probably starting at about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and ending before noon. I'm asking that the $400 fee be waived for a couple of reasons. The first reason is that virtually all of the net proceeds that we raise go back to the community or to nonprofits in the general area. I know we have several projects that we do in Bridgeport as well as in Fairfield. I had sent copies of two of the years of where we had spent the donations or the money that we raised, the 2019 and the 2020. So this hopefully you have copies of it, and it'll give you some idea of what we do with the funds that we raise. So that's very simply my request to waive the fee. The town may want to consider it a donation to the event, but in any event, I would appreciate consideration for waiving the event for the $400 for the event. For those who don't know about Rotary, we're all volunteers. We're all part of an international organization of 35,000 Rotary clubs in 200 countries and geographic areas. But each club stands on its own independently. We've been serving the Fairfield community since 1939, which is 82 years. And so we feel as though we've done an awful lot for the community. And one of the reasons why we're going to continue is we're able to raise the funds that we hope to raise from this event. So that very simply and straightforward is my story. And I would really, really appreciate the board giving consideration to this waiver. It'll be for a good cause, and it'll certainly help out a lot.
Mr. Vossler, would you please state your address for the record?
Please speak a little louder.
Kelly, can you relay?
Can you state your address for the record, please, Bob?
Oh, yes. Yeah, 1 Ermine Street in Fairfield.
Thank you.
That's spelled E-R-M-I-N-E.
Are there any questions?
Amy, I just had a question whether we have a policy on this kind of thing. Obviously, there's costs that the town has to recover. There's out-of-pocket costs for everything. I'm just more asking, do we have a sort of a history of what we've done in these cases? Obviously, we have an awful lot of good, great initiatives that come before us and use our facilities, but the fact is the town does have out-of-pocket costs. I didn't know what our...
So Jamie, this is Chris.
Yeah.
This is a 501c3. You know, you've been on the commission for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
And if you noticed, you know, I would say the majority that come before us typically are nonprofits. It's a very high percentage of nonprofits coming before the commission. You know, historically, we have not been in a position to grant all of these nonprofit fee waivers. So there really is no precedent for this.
I was asking, even is it even within our jurisdiction to waive a fee when?
Yes.
Chris, Mayor.
Yes, Brian.
And guys, forgive me. I had surgery on my throat over the weekend, so I'm going to, speak as little as possible. It is within our purview. As Chris said, the majority, and we did have a review. I forget if it was Kelly last year or Joan the year before, did an analysis for us to determine the percentage of events that were held that were for 501c3 organizations. And we don't specifically have a policy. It is within our purview to make these requests. But the problem is just about every group that comes to us is very worthy, and they're raising funds for a worthy cause. And it's just, we've held tight to not setting the precedent if we can avoid it, because it would be a slippery slope if we start improving.
Are there any other questions? Okay, hearing no questions, hearing no motion, I'm sorry, the request is not approved.
Bob, were you able to hear that?
No, I wasn't.
I'm sorry, Chris said that since there was no questions and hearing no motions, the request was not approved.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I understand. My thought was it might be approved because there's no actual cost to the town for the use that we've asked for and the waiver we've asked for. But in any event, I thank you very much for their consideration, and I appreciate all the work that they're doing for the town.
Thank you. Good luck, Mr.
Thank you,
Butler.
Should I leave at this point?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay, next up for new business, we have Fiona Andrin from St. Paul's Episcopal Church. She's requesting to hold Sunday worship services at Jennings Beach from July 11th, 2021 through August 29th, 2021. Ms. Andrin, could you state your name and your address for the record, please?
Yes, hi, I'm Fiona Andrin. I live at 33 Hill Farm Road, Fairfield, and I'm representing St. Paul's Episcopal Church in Fairfield, 661 Old Post Road. I am the warden of the church, and I sent a letter to Anthony Calabrese asking for permission for St. Paul's to hold services beginning July 11th through August 29th, Sunday mornings at 8:30 a.m. to approximately 9:30. We have done this for 25 years and we've submitted our insurance. And so I'm just asking this board for permission.
Ms. Andrin, this is your 25th year at the beach?
Approximately. I don't have the exact date, but we have done it, I'll say clearly 20 years.
And you've gone to Park and Rec before for approval on this?
Yeah.
Okay, so typically in that situation, right, Brian, they would get grandfathered in?
Yes, as long as there aren't any changes of significance, the director could approve this as he has approved 2 other items this evening. But I would suggest that we move forward and approve it as opposed to, and then maybe next year, Mr. Calabrese could simply approve it.
Terrific. Thank you.
Would anybody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Bridget
Okay,
McLeod.
second.
Says Margaret.
So we have Bridget and Margaret. Okay, hearing no questions, let's bring it to a vote. Margaret?
Yes.
Yay. Okay.
Yes.
Ryan?
Yay.
Amy? Bridget?
Yay.
I'm a yay as well. The motion passes. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So next year we'll then send a letter to Mr. Calabrese and that will be hopefully sufficient.
Great.
So thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Bye.
Bye. So next up for new business, we have Sarah Roy is with us. She's here on behalf of the Bike and Pedestrian Committee. They would like to request a World Day of Remembrance event on Sunday, November 15th at the Sherman Green. Ms. Roy, could you state your name and your address for the record, please? You're on mute.
Thank you. Forgot about that. Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah Roy, and I live at 3 Buena Vista Road in Fairfield. And as Chris mentioned, I'm a member of the Bike and Pedestrian Committee, and I am a road safety justice advocate. And I'm here representing the Bike and Pedestrian Committee because, as Chris mentioned, we'd like to use Sherman Green for a World Day of Remembrance event on November 15th, 2021. And if you're not familiar, the World Day of Remembrance for Road Traffic Victims, it was established in 1995, I believe, approved by the UN General Assembly as an international event, and has been taking place in communities across the world ever since. And unfortunately, the reason we need to have this event is to draw awareness to traffic violence. It is a global epidemic. According to the Governor's Highway Safety Association, 6,721 pedestrians were killed in the United States on our roads in 2020. That's up 21% from 2019. And last year in Connecticut, 43 pedestrians were killed. And even within Fairfield, we had 2 deaths. Mayor Lady, who was visiting Fairfield, you might remember, was killed in a hit and run 4th of July weekend. And Christine McMahon was killed at the Mill Plain Road highway ramp in November of 2020. And we also had a severe injury to Donna, who was hit on Old Post Road while in a crosswalk and was in the hospital for a long time with critical injuries. So we would like Fairfield to participate in this global event to bring awareness to traffic violence, as I mentioned. And one of the other things, important parts of this event is it's an opportunity for local governments to draw attention not only to traffic violence victims, but also to emergency first responders, police, fire, ambulance, who show up at these horrific scenes again and again. And that takes a toll on them mentally, emotionally, physically, to have to deal with the carnage of traffic violence. And so it's an opportunity for them to be seen and recognized as well. So what we'd like to do is have a brief event, probably early in the afternoon on Sunday, the 15th, in which we would, let me have my outline. We would invite town representatives, everybody from our local government to our state reps, to our US representatives. We'd also invite victim families and loved ones of victims of traffic violence from the area to attend. Have a few speeches, have a moment of silence and prayer led by local faith leaders, honoring both the traffic violence victims and the first responders and everything they have gone through. I'd also like to do a temporary art installation in the park just for that afternoon. That would be, so what I'm looking to build on is, in Brooklyn, they did in years past, they took a pair of shoes to represent every single traffic violence victim and painted them all white and then displayed them to show just the magnitude of how many people are taken from us each year due to traffic violence. So, and we'd also like to end the event. I apologize. We'd like to ask a first responder to speak to their experience during the event, how it affects them, and then finish the event with a voluntary walk or bike ride to the Mill Plain Road highway ramp where Christine was killed, hopefully to lay some flowers and mementos in her honor. So that's what we're looking to do as the committee, and just seeking your approval to use the Sherman Green for that afternoon. Thank you. Oh, and I'm sorry, I'm hoping Judy's on the call because I want to yield the rest of my time to Judy Proctor, because she will speak personally about her personal experience with traffic violence and also the World Day of Remembrance. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Judy, would you please state your name and address for the record?
Yep. I'm Judy Proctor, 428 Pequot Avenue in Southport, and here to support and endorse and work with Sarah and the Bike Committee on World Day of Remembrance. I sadly came to know about this day last year when our son Charlie was killed while riding his bike by a car in Arlington, Massachusetts. And I belong to Trinity Church in Southport, and our rector, Peggy Hodgkins, said this would be a wonderful opportunity to remember and honor not only Charlie, but those who had died in Fairfield that we knew about. Jake Panis being one of them, the high school student who was in the crash on Block Island, and Marilita, and actually some others that were killed on I-95. And it was a powerful time, you know, in the church where we acknowledged those who are experiencing grief, parents, siblings, grandmothers, children, and of course those first responders. And what was really moving is that members of the congregation then called out those who they knew, who they had lost from traffic tragedies. And then many were just incredulous that 115 people die a day in the United States from victims of traffic crashes. So this day would serve to honor those who have died, and also bring us together as a community to assess how we can make our roads safe for all pedestrians, cyclists, and drivers. So thank you for this consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Proctor. And I'm sorry, Bob. Kelly, do we have availability on November 15th?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Does the commission have any questions? Margaret?
Yeah, I just had a question. First of all, this is clearly an important event, and just doing a little reading as you're talking, it certainly seems like the statistics are getting scarier and scarier, and that this is an increasing issue. My only question logistically was, with the walk or bike ride at the end of the event, would that require additional logistics? Because I would want to make sure all of those people walking and bike riding are really safe in doing so. And so I don't know if that would take maybe coordination with the police department or something.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it very well might. It very well might take some coordination with the police department. Like I said, it would be voluntary. Only people who are comfortable walking or biking over there. And I'd want to do it. It will be November, so it'll be daylight savings. So I'd want to do it before it gets dark to maximize safety. So, you know, if we started the event, say around 1, and we walked over there before 3, we should be all set. But yes, a part of my outreach, assuming we get approval to get the event, have the event in Sherman Green, would be to reach out to the police department to seek not only a speaker to talk about first responders, but also to see if there is any coordination we need to do with them to ensure that we can get over there safely. So thank you for the question.
Bridget?
Thank you.
Bridget?
Hey, Chris, thanks. My only concern is also about the walk or bike ride afterwards. So going from, can you guys hear me? I feel like I just lost the internet.
Now we can hear you. You're just welcome.
Okay. So going from Sherman Green over to the on-ramp of the Mill Plain on-ramp is like a little bit sketchy. And I feel like, do you guys have any other like ideas about maybe another route for a walk? Just because there's like, you go under the underpass for the train. So there's like that one near Starbucks. And then there's like the narrowest sidewalk right underneath that underpass. And then just being on Mill Plain, I don't know. I just see like, I just get worried about that part of it. So
Yeah,
I don't know if there's any other ideas.
It's super sketchy. I mean, someone died there. Like, and I think that's
yeah.
your concern. I think we're trying to demonstrate that there are sidewalks where Christine died. There is just not a pedestrian crosswalk. Not that that necessarily would have saved her life, but it could have reduced the chances of her being hit if there was greater awareness in that space that drivers should expect pedestrians, right? So I'm happy to work with the police force and the Bike and Ped Committee and whoever to ensure. I don't know if there's an alternate route on the way that we can take. And it sounds like, it looks like Judy has a comment, but I think it's, personally, it's my opinion that it's important for us to demonstrate how dangerous this is by asking those who are willing to walk to experience it, to experience it through the lens of a pedestrian or a cyclist. And it helps call out the need for change and greater connectivity in that area and our community at large. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, we could we could go over the bridge by Tomlinson School and down through the parking lot, and then enter Mill Plain Road and go to the site of the tragic crash. That would be another alternative route.
I think so, especially if you may have people that are going to be on bikes. I think that would be the safest bet because, like I said, that one little strip of sidewalk underneath where the trains are is so narrow. That would just make me nervous. I'm just a nervous mom. That's it.
You should be.
Right.
So
I have to caution people all over the street.
I share the concerns. However, I don't think you need to reroute your walk as long as you coordinate with the police. Because and I'll make a motion to approve this subject to coordinating the route with the police force. And if you do that, so I haven't officially made the motion yet, so give me 1 second. If you do that, they will be in attendance at those various dangerous choke points, such as underneath the railroad station. And if they believe it is too dangerous to walk or ride through there, they will coordinate with you a different path. So I'll make the motion now to approve, subject to.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, I thought someone else was speaking. Subject to coordinating the walk/ride path with the Fairfield Police.
I'll second that, Brian.
Okay. We have a second, so there is a motion.
Brian, please go quick.
On behalf of the Bike and Pedestrian Committee, we request our World Day of Remembrance event on Sunday, November 15th at Sherman Green, in conjunction with police coordination. Okay, seeing no further discussion, let's bring it to a vote. Margaret? Okay, Bridget?
Yay.
Amy?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Brian?
Yay.
I'm also a yay. That's unanimous. It's been approved. The motion passes.
Brian, Dave Weber joined.
Oh. Okay, Dave Weber is joined. He's only on voice. I don't know. Dave, can you hear them?
Yeah.
We're having a problem with our audio, so if you could switch over to WebEx, that would be better. If you're not available to do that.
Okay.
Okay, so the motion.
Thank you. Oh, are we finished? I think we're finished with this item, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken?
Yes, you are. Just please coordinate with
Okay.
the department.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Good luck.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Is Michael Carter with us?
Michael, are you there?
Michael's here.
Michael,
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
I resent instructions to join the WebEx. We're having a problem with our audio. If you could do that, that would be great.
You can't hear me?
Can everybody hear Michael?
Can you hear me?
Okay, they can hear
Yes.
you.
Okay, terrific. Thank you. So I'm Michael Carter, own a business for about 30 years in Southport, founder of Push for Entrepreneurship, been on the Board of Finance in Weston for about 10 years and dealt with the Parks and Rec there many, many, many times as a supporter of athletics in Weston. Founded Push for Entrepreneurship and it's a 2-hour push-up challenge. You were kind enough last year when nobody wanted us to have us in Veterans Park, and it was one of the most spectacular days of my life. We had a record number of pushers. All the sporting events were canceled. We had it there. We had COVID restrictions and we doubled them, and people felt very comfortable. The event was on Channel 12. It's a fundraiser that raises money for innovation education for inner city cities in Connecticut, Norwalk, Bridgeport, and New Haven. And last year, like I said, we had a record number of pushers. We raised $40,000. And my only angst during the whole time was it was going to rain that day, and it ended up being one of the most spectacular days in the fall. You can imagine what it looked like in Veterans Park. It is also the reason why I'm asking for a rain date the following day, just in case it would rain. We spent about 5 months planning it and organizing it, and so that's the request on the table. But any questions, feel free to ask me.
Michael, could you please state your name and your address for the record?
Michael,
Yes, Michael Carter on 99 Harbor Road in Southport is the office, and I live in Weston at 12 Sachem Road.
Kelly, do we have both those dates available?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Any questions?
I have a question.
Fine.
Michael, just I recall the discussions we had last year with the approval. You said you had record number of pushers. How many people were in attendance?
We had 63 people who were actually at, I'll say pushing. We had about 15 kids that were kind of demonstrating their invention. The program encourages kids to come up with an invention, solving one of their problems. We had about 15 of those, and we probably had 30 to 40, I'll say, spouses, kids, and onlookers.
And would you expect this year's event to be roughly the same, or is it expanding?
We're hoping to double it, and my hopes are never met. So my guess is, best case, we'll be up 10% or 15%, 10 to 20%. But the goal is to try to expand it. It's slowly growing.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, would anybody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Brian Rose seconds. Okay, just bear with me here. I just lost my page. Okay, there we go. So there's a motion on the table to request the Push for Entrepreneurship Challenge fundraiser on October 16th from 9 to 12 at Veterans Park, with a rain date of October 17th from 12 to 3. Hearing no discussion, let's bring it to a vote. Margaret?
Yay.
Jamie?
Yes.
Okay, Bridget?
Yay.
Okay,
Yes.
David, are you with us? Okay, Brian?
Yay.
And I too am a yay. The motion passes. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, and I also, for those of you who approved this last year when it was probably a lot harder to approve, I really want to thank you. This event changes lives, and just wanted to acknowledge that. I know it was probably it was tricky sponsoring a sporting event, and but just wanted to just a special shout out to those that approved it last year as well. So thank you. You're welcome.
All right, so there's no board of Bonnie is at graduation, so we do not have a board of education report. I think she's at Ludlow tonight with Anthony. So the director's report, we all have a copy of that. Do we have any good of the order? Anybody? Okay. Is there, well, with no further business, Bridget?
Sorry, Chris, I just had one thing I just wanted to mention about the tree.
Okay.
The tree lighting is actually tonight, so they're gonna send me photos, so that's why I haven't given you guys any information from this month, but they said that they'll send me photos and everything, and I drove by and it looks great. So, and then any other information on the tree will come next month, because we're gonna start finalizing our schedule, as you know.
And who's there this month? Who's there in June?
It's back to the Center for Family Justice, but this month they have an emphasis on Pride Month. So if you look at the tree, it kind of looks like a rainbow.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out. All right.
Yeah.
Now, does anybody have any questions regarding the director's report? Has everyone gotten a chance to read the director's report? Anybody have any questions on it? Concerns? All good? Okay. All right. Now with
My only point, can I make a point?
yes, please. Go ahead. Is that David?
Yes.
Can we start meeting in person again, or?
We would love to. We actually tried to make a push this month. It did not get approved, so we're really trying for next month. I think we're all in agreement. Any other good of the order, points of order? Okay, well, with no further business before the commission, would anybody like to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved. It's McKay.
Okay, anybody want a second?
No second, Dave.
All right, David seconds. The meeting is adjourned at 7:46 p.m.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Feel better,
Bye,
Brian.
everybody.
Guys, feel
Thank
awesome.
you.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Thanks, Chris.
Take
Thank
care.
you.